Hey boyos, daily check-in with John Vee. It is May 24th, 2026. Not much to talk about. Pretty much same as always. There's not too much new in my life. Just a couple minor things. I'm trying quote unquote fasting in the form of eating a very small amount of calories every day and walking off what I ingest. So I'm essentially going to burn like 2,300 a day by quote unquote fasting. Like yesterday, I had two small apples, two small carrots, two iced coffees from Wendy's. So like 650 calories, and I easily walked all that off in 2 hours. So I'm going to try to stick to that. I feel pretty good today. I like I've been up for over an hour and I'm not craving a bunch of food, which is a good thing. Last night, it actually wasn't even very severe either. I was laying in bed, going on my phone, watching competitive eaters eat different things like huge burgers with fries or a huge mound of spaghetti with sauce. And actually took a lot of enjoyment out of watching those people eat those large meals. And it didn't make me want those meals either, which was very surprising. Um, but I'm really thinking that this whole fasting approach might be the thing I need to succeed. So let's cross our fingers and hope this is what will work for me. I'm not going to make the mistake of rewarding myself with a nice meal after so many days or hours of fasting because I find when I do that, I just rebound. I just rebound and eat an enormous amount of food, and I'm back at square one as if I had never fasted at all. So I know some of you boys were pushing me to do the 2 day fast a week and 5 days eat whatever I want. That will not work for me. I am sorry. Like I said, I've tried fasting for a full day before. I would eat a normal sized meal like steak and potatoes and stare at the empty plate afterwards and wish it was more food and feel even more hungry, quote unquote hungry, than before I even ate the steak and potatoes, right? And I rebound, and if I go an entire day without eating, I just rebound, and in a matter of like an hour, I'll eat like 3,000 calories. So, you know, that approach does not work. So I'm thinking something extreme, um, and it's in the form of long term fasting. So I'm hoping this works. I just will eat really basic fruits and vegetables that are low calorie, like apples and carrots, and just a couple of iced coffees every day. And all of that I can just walk off easily in a couple hours. And yeah, but even with that approach, it will realistically take me 6 or more months to reach my goal. And that's in a perfect world where I don't have any cheat meals or anything like that. Because obviously, 5 months realistically to lose 100 pounds to bring me to 140. Now that's quite extreme. And if I actually do get down to 140, um, that's very extreme. And that would be very, very, very good to do in a 6 month period. And I'm a little skeptical if I can actually reach that goal in 6 months, right? Because, like, Christian Bale, for his role in The Machinist, he was working out 4 hours every day and eating less food. He would have a large apple and a can of tuna every day. And in a 6 month period, he didn't even lose 100 pounds. He went down to like 129 or 130 from like the previous weight that he was, which was a little over 200. So he was working out more than I do, 4 hours a day, whereas I do too. He was eating less calories because a large apple and a can of tuna is like roughly 300 calories, whereas I'm getting like 600. So realistically, my approach is probably, and plus, he didn't lose 100 pounds. He lost a bit less than 100 pounds, probably like 80. Um, So realistically, if I stick with this diet, it's likely gonna probably take me longer than 6 months. It realistically is probably gonna take me close to a year. If we look at all the math and everything, I'm a very realistic, practical person. I'm not delusional in that way. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'll do this diet in a couple weeks. I'm gonna transform. It's not like that, right? You know, like in a perfect world, if I was exercising 4 hours a day like Christian Bale did, and only ate 3,300 calories a day in the form of a large apple and can of tuna. I can't eat tuna, but that's besides the point. To lose 100 pounds would still take over 6 months, right? Because look at Christian Bale. He was eating less than me, exercising more, and in 6 months, he didn't even lose 100 pounds. He lost like 80. So, in my case, it's likely going to take close to a year. All things considered, all factors considered, if I stick with the eating plan and exercise plan that I stuck to yesterday, it's going to take me close to a year. That's a big ask because that's saying to go almost a year and not have any cheat meals, not eat Wendy's burgers or anything like that. Like, that's a big ask. Um, so yeah, but really extreme weight loss, like 100 pounds of weight loss, that's quite extreme, and it's gonna take me a while. In a perfect world, it's gonna take me close to a year, right? And a realistic amount of time that it will take me is 2 years. And with my lazy approach and whatnot, it's likely I'll never reach my goal of 140 pounds, right? But I keep picking away at it. I'll fail, then I'll pick myself up, try a different approach for a while. Because the alternative, boyos, if I just give up on weight loss, if I just give up, the alternative is start gaining weight and start my journey to 300 pounds and then 400 pounds. And I don't want that for myself. I don't want to be another Walmart shopper that is 350 pounds that looks like absolute shit walking around in the store. I don't want to be one of those people. I refuse to be one of those people. Um, yeah, but aside from the new quote unquote diet or fasting routine that I have, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I've been sticking to a good sleep schedule where I usually am in bed asleep by 12 or 1 o'clock, and then I'm usually up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So my sleep schedule is pretty solid. Um, Apparently, that's one secret of successful people is they follow a very strict sleep schedule, where they will sleep during the same hours every day, no exception, right? I've known so many people, um, on their days off from work, they would sleep in till noon. And then the next day, they would go back to work, get up at 5 a.m., go to work. And I don't believe that's a good thing to do. I don't believe that's good at all. Like, on your days off, sure, treat yourself to an extra half hour of laying in bed asleep. But sleeping until noon, like, maybe it's just the people I know living around here, but they must not have much going on in their personal life to want to get up early and get going because they sleep until noon. So, you know, I don't really know any hyper successful people though. But yeah, boyos, there ain't much else to say. Just wanted to ramble on about the new fasting routine and give a realistic expectation of what I could accomplish. So, realistically, close to a year to reach my goal. Yeah. So, peace out, boyos, and I'll see you online.